Hey everyone, it's the Cash Flow Bootcamp update with your hosts, my dad Don MacGregor and myself, John MacGregor. We want to keep these to about 15 minutes, 20 minutes max, give you an overview of the trades that we're doing, why we like these particular stocks, and then kind of typically answer a question at the end. If you want to learn more about this trading system, by the way, we didn't invent this. This is a well followed, well written about strategy used by thousands of investors. Problem is, what I've realized is that the other experts, the quote gurus, they don't explain it very well. They overcomplicate it. This is a very simple investment strategy that generates cash flow on every single trade and builds wealth over time. So not only can you capture cash flow, but you can also capture profits along the way. If you want to learn more about this strategy, I have a masterclass. I think it's about 38 minutes long. It's free on my website. It explains this system in its entirety. So check that out if you can. By the way, before we get into it, pause this, read the disclaimer on this strategy. Are there risks? Absolutely. It's super important you understand what the risks are before you do anything. But I will say the reason we love this strategy is because it does lower overall risk and can act like an insurance policy on your portfolio. So make sure you read through the disclaimer so you understand that the risk. This video that we're going to do on a regular basis is not meant to be a recommendation. This is for education only. By the time you watch this, we may be long gone out of the stocks we talk about. So with that, all right, let's get into it, Dad. And again, we want to keep these as concise as possible. We're going to talk a little bit about the premiums that we made in the last couple of days. Dad, you had a big day today, and I had a big Friday. It's funny. I posted these trades on Instagram on Thursday, I think it was. And Instagram is holding it back from being promoted because they say it violates their overpromise rules. Basically, what they're saying is that it's possible that we didn't do these types of returns, which is not true at all. So, and I'm going to prove it to you in just a moment. So I'm just going to talk about how we each individually have done respectively. And I just want to share some of the trades I did over the last couple of days. In fact, today, here's an actual trade, my confirmation today on NVIDIA. And if you look at the number at the bottom, the principal amount, that's how much income I received as a result of this trade. So 685 today, took me less than 20 seconds to do this trade. And then last week, this was a sale on the stocks that I was assigned. It was a great trade on a symbol called stock, the symbol MOR. Here's a $355 premium. And this was all on February 9th, if you see that. And this is 405 down here. This is 603, 497, 515, 880 in income, 1,055, 708, 200 on the 7th of February, 400 on the 7th, 2750 on the 7th. I think I was sitting on a conference call. I was sitting on a conference call when I did this one. And folks, on those trades on Thursday, the 9th, was it Thursday the 9th or the Friday? Anyway, I think I made $4,700 and it took me less than 20 minutes to input those trades. So this is not a difficult or complicated strategy, and it's something that anyone can learn. And it's interesting, and Dad, you can comment on this. I know investment professionals that have no idea that this strategy exists. So there's a lot of people out there that are leaving a lot of money on the table. So I'm going to stop sharing here, Dad. You want to just talk about your day today? I know you mentioned you had a big day on options.
Yeah, I had a pretty good day today, John. I'm finding that the stocks have gotten pretty pricey, so I'm selling more puts than I am calls. And I wrote 8 options today, and 6 of them were puts, and only 2 were calls.
Yeah.
And well, you went through yours. Let me go through what I did. I'm not sure I could keep up with your premiums, but anyway, let me.
You did pretty darn good.
Anyway, I sold a put on Salesforce. That's a well-known company, and made 850 on that one. Another one, Trade Desk, online advertising. I like this company. I sold a call and a put on this. I made $1,400 on that one.
Wow, that's nice.
Axiom Therapeutics. Um, some of the analysts see some big things for this company. A little bit on the risky side, but made 740 on that one. And good old Home Depot, which I've been in a long time and will always be in it. I made 540 on a call on Home Depot because I want to own that one.
How, Dad, by the way, how far in expiration are you doing these?
I don't like to go beyond 30 days if I can do it. Prefer 2 weeks on some of the high volatility stocks, but I try to stay within 30 days. Sometimes I'll go 35, but all of these within 30, 32 days.
Yeah, I'm keeping mine right around 2 weeks, but it is funny because that NVIDIA trade that I did today, I made about $800. I just showed it. That expires on Friday.
Yeah.
That's a
Well, it's a high
4 day.
volatility stock, and
It
you
is.
can have the
It is.
shorter
It is. But in 4 days,
expiration.
that's a five. Well, call it 4 days because I did it at the end of trading. It's an $800 premium. Boom, like that. Anyway,
Anyway, the last three I did a Montana tech company. Uh, I sold a put on that Snowflake 980, and then the last three. Let's see if I can find those. I did I sold puts on Elf Beauty. I like to have a cosmetic company in my portfolio. I've been in Estee Lauder and Ulta, but I now playing with Elf Beauty and then Applied Materials. Let's see, what kind of a premium I got on that one. I had a premium of $810 on Applied Materials, and on Elf I made 1,200. So altogether, I made a little over $6,500 today. So it's a pretty good day.
that's a great day. And I'm assuming all of that's in your retirement account.
I'm sorry.
That's all. Was that all done in your retirement account?
Um, Most of them, my
Yeah.
Home Depot's in my trust account. I think the
Yeah.
rest of them are all in my IRAs.
So just so folks understand that it's ideal to do this in your retirement account because all that income is tax free.
Right.
Whereas if you do it in a regular account, it would be taxable as ordinary income. You'll definitely want to check with an accountant on that. But yeah. Well, Dad, did you want to highlight a couple of stocks that you like?
Yeah, a couple of them that I like. As I said, I like to have at least one cosmetic company in
Right.
my portfolio. They seem to do pretty well, and I've been in a couple of ones I said in the past, and now I'm playing with Elf Beauty, and
I'm in this as well.
I was assigned on my call Friday, so this morning. And by the way, I saw that one of their ads at the Super Bowl really surprised me.
Yeah, that's
But
right.
the company's doing quite well. Both their sales and earnings are growing at a nice clip, and they've beaten estimates in the last three quarters. So, but the stock's gotten kind of pricey, so I'd like to get it at a lower price. So today I sold a put, two contracts out 3 weeks, and got a nice premium and $1,200, as I mentioned a moment ago. So kind of hope I get signed on that one. I'd like to own Elf again. And
Yeah.
then
Well,
the
Dad,
other one,
before you go on, I noticed I'm in Elf as well. I sold puts on it last week, made some nice premium. Currently the stock's at 171, call it 172. Of all the analysts that follow it, I think there's 12. The average 12-month target on that is about 200. So, and I lean on analysts quite a bit. They're way smarter than I do, and all they do is study these stocks. And consensus amongst them is telling us $200 a share. So I think this could be not only a good put, although if you look at the chart and it's on the screen, Dad, I mean
I
that's a
see it.
nice
Yeah.
looking chart. But to your point, it may be overpriced at the moment, and then that's why you'd want to sell a put on this rather than buy the stock and sell a call. Um, but yeah, it's a nice looking chart.
Yeah, it looks to me, I have a technical chart here, and it looks like it might be getting a little bit
Right.
into the overbought category and may come down, but you never know.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Then the other one, John, that I've been in for a long, long time, in and out, Applied Materials. Now, this company, uh, people call it a chip company, but it's actually manufactures and sells the equipment that makes chips. And with all of the new foundries that are being proposed and built around the world, actually, I think there's a terrific future for Applied Materials, at least in my opinion.
Yep.
And their sales and earnings next year look pretty good. They've beaten estimates the last 3 quarters. And but again, if you look at the chart, it's gotten kind of pricey.
Yeah, the chart's
I
on display right now, Dad, so you
took
can
a
see it.
big jump here the last day or so. And so again, I thought I would like to buy it at a lower price. And so
Mm-hmm.
I sold a put and went out 32 days. Actually, it'd be a month, and put $810 in my pocket. And
Nice.
I wouldn't mind owning this if I got a sign on it. So
What's your strike on that?
175.
175. So just so everyone knows, if that stock hits 175 or below from now until the expiration of this contract, he would be obligated to buy 100 shares of Applied Materials at
Well, I had two
175.
contracts, so it'd
Oh,
be
two contracts. Okay. So he'd have
200
to buy
shares.
200 shares of Applied Materials at 175. So you've got you got a $10 cushion on that. But yeah, so that's a great trade. It's a great trade. I do notice that it's currently at 185 right now. The average consensus by the analysts, their 12-month outlook is $175 a share. And so,
Yeah, well, it's taking
um,
such a big
or
jump that the analysts haven't caught up with it.
yeah, actually $170 a share. Yeah, they probably haven't caught up to it. But boy, if you read the articles, the latest news on Applied Materials, um, I think this stock has nothing but upside. And by the way, the way we find some of these stocks, like for example, Applied Materials, if you go in and we use Yahoo Finance, it's free. It's a great research tool. You'll type in Applied Materials, symbol AMAT, and there'll be a bunch of articles that say, the top 3 growth stocks you must own, or 2 stocks set to explode. And one of them is Applied Materials, but then you want to look in that article to find what the other one is. And that's kind of how we come up with new stocks to sell options on. It's real simple. Like I said, anyone can do it. So, um, well, I'm going to hit you out of the gate with 2 stocks. One being, let's see, where are we here? One being SMCI. And are you still in this, Dad?
Yeah, yes, I am. We both made quite a bit of money on this one.
Yeah. So
What a high
it's
flyer.
it's
Look
a
at
high
that.
flyer. I mean, if you look at that chart, it's incredible. I found this stock about, I don't know, 9 to 12 months ago and started selling calls and puts on it, going back and forth, just generating more and more premium income. And then it got too rich. And I think it started to lose some favor. And so I kind of left it on the side for a while. And it just recently hit my radar about 3 weeks ago. Um, and the stock was trading at about 400 about 3 to 4 weeks ago. So I sold a put for about a $2,400 premium. Then then as you can see the chart, the stock just took off. And so what I did was I bought back that option. I closed it out, and I think I probably paid 40 or 50 bucks to buy it back, but still I made $2,400 on the premium. So, and then I just sold another put, and then I did the same thing a week later and bought it back, and then sold another put on it, which I'm in now. And so I've made close to $10,000 on just SMCI over the last 3 weeks. Now it's 770. I don't know. I still have a put on it, but
Crazy.
it's crazy, and it all has to do with AI, and SMCI seems to be a huge leader in that space. And let's see what the so the average analyst thinks it's going to go to 560, and it's currently at 773. We could be playing with fire on this one, but we'll see. We'll see. The other one, Dad, I'd love for you to chime in on this is coin. And I just sold a put on coin. And the reason I like coin, it's a nice way to play the crypto market. I'm not a Bitcoin person at all, but coin, my understanding is more of the infrastructure kind of play on cryptocurrency. So it's more of a behind the scenes kind of company, which I feel a lot more comfortable in than owning a specific cryptocurrency. The news is good. Motley Fools likes it, which I love. I do subscribe to Motley Fools. It's about $100 a year, which, by the way, has paid for itself 100 times over based on the recommendations and the stock ideas I get. And I don't see price targets on this stock by the analysts, but coin will be interesting. It's up $5 today. Sold a put on it. Can't remember what my premium was. If I had to guess, I think it was in the $500 to $600 range for a 2-week contract. So no, that's some good trades last couple of days, some good premiums, and that does not count any future profits we make if and when we have to buy the stocks, or if our stocks get assigned and get called away. So yeah, it's a great stock. And again, if you want to learn more about this process or this system that I teach, you can find the masterclass and or the landing page on the overall course itself. I'll post the URLs in the chat or in the bio, in the description of this video. So all righty, I think with that we're gonna answer our question of the week, which is how do we select our strike prices? And I get that question a lot, and it's not that hard. We use what we call Greeks, and Greeks are basically financial metrics that traders use to really measure factors that affect the price of options. And they're moving in real time, and you can get real deep into these and get really complicated. We use one Greek, and it's called delta, and it's super simple to use. I am looking at gamma and maybe theta. I hear theta a lot, but I like to keep this as simple as possible. And delta is something that you can't make any simpler. Dad, you want to chime in on that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I use Delta. That's the only one I use. I'm getting so old, I don't think I'll ever learn the other one. So I stick with Delta. It gives me an idea it gives me an idea to predict whether the the option is likely to end up in the money or not. So I stick with deltas around 30.
So when you say
And well, that
whether you
means it gives
well,
it's about a 30% chance it'll end up in the money
explain in the money, what does that mean?
at the strike price.
Meaning it gives you an idea where to set the strike price. In the money, meaning that you are either going to lose your stock from assignment if you owned a call, or meaning you're going to have to buy that stock because you sold a put. And
Right.
so delta kind of gives you a good rough idea at that moment. Things change, right? At that moment, the percentage likeliness or probability of you being assigned, meaning either your stock is going to be taken away because you owned it and you sold a call, or you're going to be forced to buy it because you sold a put. And so, Dad, talk about the delta that you typically use.
Well, I use, as I said a minute ago, 30, 31, 32 in that area. But you know, with the market moving up so much, I've kind of dropped down into the high 20s, maybe
Uh,
28, 29.
that makes a lot of sense. And
And,
again, that number represents the probability or the likelihood that you're going to be assigned. So typically we're in the low 30s, which is 30%. But because these markets are at such crazy values, we're dropping that down to be a little bit more conservative. So, and by the way, the higher the delta, the higher the premium you're going to receive because you're taking on more risk with that underlying stock. So you can kind of play with delta to determine the kind of premium that you want to receive, given the level of risk that you're willing to take. Anything else on that, Dad?
no, I think that covers it.
All right, well, let's wrap it up again. We want to keep these kind of quick and short and to the point. And if you have any questions, please throw it in the chat or give us a comment. We'd love to hear more about, what you're doing, any stock ideas that you have, anything that you want us to share, anything you like or don't like. And please forward this on. Again, my masterclass is available. Certainly, I'll post that in the comments or the description. And or if you just want to learn about my course, you can certainly do that as well. You'll have the information. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.
But